It's us again, Fox City Sports, episode 3 of the weekly sports podcast. It's August 28th, 2014.
Oh, paycheck time.
We're going to run through some of these topics. What is that? 27. Sorry. Thank you, Paul. It's me, Johnny Boom Boom, your mediator for the day. Paul, King of Swing Cruz. Jerry, the Thread Killer Lorena. And let's start this shit off.
And Augustine, our producer.
Oh,
we got a special guest.
No, it's cool. It's unedited.
We got a special guest
a
here.
Special guest listener. We got Dave on the webcams, Yuri in the beat, and we're gonna run through some of these. All right, first we're gonna talk about is the NFL, because the season starts a week from tomorrow, and shit is about to get real. So let's run some of these last topics. The news today. I was going to start with basketball. Let's start with football first, though. The Gordan suspension, a year, came out today. His third strike. The wide receiver Josh Gordon got suspended for an entire year, following his third arrest with marijuana. Paul, do you think it's fair, or do you think he should have got less?
Quite honestly, I could really care less when it comes to like weed. I mean, given the fact that America as a whole is transitioning towards weed being legalized, why would Josh Gordon get 1 year when Ray Rice gets 2 games for beating his wife?
It's
and
true.
Matt Prater getting 4 games.
What did Prater do?
Was it almost similar?
Substance abuse.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Because he had to hit a DUI.
Sorry, not substance abuse. Performance-enhancing drugs.
No.
So part of the Adderall?
Yeah.
Wait, there was another kicker. There was another player that
I thought Matt Prater was for
the kicker.
The kicker. Yeah,
right.
He came to practice drunk.
Yeah, no, that's alcohol. Prater was the one. He had a DUI, and the NFL has a substance abuse policy. You're not allowed to be caught with any type of alcohol. And he had a few beers.
I'm sorry, I thought he took steroids.
No, he got a few beers.
So he could kick 60 yards.
So he got suspended. So yeah, the big controversy is that Ray Rice got 2 games for knocking out his girl on camera, and Josh Gordon got a year for smoking weed. Some people think priorities are backwards.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just think with the NFL, they just have to adjust with what the United States is going with their laws.
Right.
And 3 years ago, where these laws were already, where there's rules already enforced in the NFL, they have to consistently update it. But when you can't update your laws without the new collective bargaining agreement, it's pretty tough for the NFL to keep up. So they're just going to get a lot of backlash.
Right. There's been talks from football that the NFL might legalize the use of marijuana in states that legalize it for the players for their team that are in that state.
Right.
Obviously, for the health benefits, pain relief after games and whatnot.
Definitely.
I personally don't think it'll happen anytime soon. But do you think that there's a case to be made that it could be a decision that could be made down the line?
I mean, I could see why the NFL would be against it. I could see interviews where a couple of NFL players are giving interviews high and loaded. Of course, it's pure comedy.
Right. I mean, can you imagine? In Washington, where weed is legalized, can you imagine Marshawn Lynch being able to smoke trees legally? I mean, that.
Oh boy.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
Imagine Frank Gore, because he really has a hard time.
Right. Exactly. Any of the players in California would be. I mean, that's. I mean, I think this is just obviously just talks going on, but I think that if it would ever go down league, they would have to figure out to do it for the entire league. There was no way, because every athlete would want to play for a team that that plays for a state that trees are legalized.
Especially when a lot of players are already unknowingly smoking marijuana, and they're already doing it behind the NFL's back.
Right, LeGarrette Blount.
Imagine if the NFL approves it. They would just be smoking marijuana regularly.
Yep.
And again, pure comedy.
Right.
I was going to give a shout out to Fog City Sports.
Yeah, buddy.
But I guess the question goes back to: is the NFL, are they going to look at this independently from legislation?
Right.
Are they going by their own laws? I mean, you look at state, you look at federal. I mean, it's like Washington State. Yeah, it's legal, but federally, it's not legal.
Exactly.
Now, is the NFL going to look at it independently from the legal standpoint, where hey, understandably that marijuana can be legalized, but we as a corporation, we as professionals, do we want to be in that same manner, or do we want to be separate from that? You know, like what the whole thing as being an NFL player is a privilege, right?
Right. Absolutely,
it's a privilege. Do you want to continue on with society?
It's really it all falls down to the commissioner, and the commissioner obviously didn't step up to the plate.
Yeah,
his voice could have been. He could have stepped to the plate when Ray Rice abused his wife, but
with direct evidence.
You know, there's a lot of silence. The commissioner, whenever you have a corporation or business, it's who is leading it who sets the tone. And if the commissioner is not willing to speak up and set the tone, it's just a lot of confusion and a lot of dialogue that everybody could just start their own BS and just start up their own drama.
Right.
With, just making it a problem. So if the commissioner doesn't speak up where he wants the NFL to be, then it's going to be a big problem.
I think that, with, Goodell, his reputation shortly in his league is already being the ultimate hard ass. And I don't think that he wants to go down that route right now as far as legalizing or letting the players do that.
Sorry to cut you off, but I honestly feel like when he took that ALS challenge for the NFL, he did that for publicity.
Of course.
He did that for publicity, not for the ALS, but just to show that he's a lighthearted, normal
he wants to be a likable guy. Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, because he knows what his reputation is. The guy gets booed every single draft. People are pretty vocal about what they feel about him. But as far as Josh Gordon goes, I think it's a little harsh. He is a third-time offender. So you can argue the case that he deserved it.
Right.
But, I think it's still a really gray area. I think that I don't think that there should be a certain, it should be black and white. Like, if you do this, then you're going to get this amount of games. I think every case is different.
Definitely.
And you got to judge each situation, each case differently as it comes. And, with Ray Rice, I don't know. I think the fact that the woman that was in the video didn't press charges,
right,
and in fact they ended up getting married 2 weeks later,
right.
I think that played into the decision also because if she pressed charges and it was like a whole legal thing, then I think the suspension would have been way heavier. But the fact that he probably looked at it as like maybe it was just like a little domestic spat, that just got out of hand. But the fact that they did end up getting married, I think that definitely lessened the blow of Ray Rice. But I don't think there's anybody out there that's gonna say that smoking weed is a more harsh is deserving of a more harsh penalty than spousal abuse. I think it just each case was differently. So move on to the next topic. Ham horn in the building. We got effects. We're taking it to another level. Next topic I have. One topic that they talked about on ESPN today. Do you think the NFL season should be extended by 2 games and have preseason from 4 games to 2 games and make the NFL season 18 games instead of 16?
No. I think 16 games is
plenty.
Is plenty. Preseason really, what is it? An exhibition, right?
Right.
But what it does, it doesn't expose our players to injury.
Exactly.
You extended 18 games. You have a Colin Kaepernick for 16 games would be healthy, and game 18 he can get hurt,
right,
and be out for the season, right?
But don't you think? Do you think 4 games is too long? I think 4 games is too long.
3 games, I think, should be good.
I think 3 games would be a perfect.
And have a week off.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because to go from the 4th game of the preseason to straight into the regular season right away is kind of crazy. But I still think 4 games is too long. I do think that extending it to 18 games would be a little ridiculous because football is obviously the most physical sport we have in this country, and to extend it for an extra 2 weeks, you're just making it totally susceptible to injury. I think as fans we would love to see them play 18 games, but you got to look out for the players.
I think the Thursday night game.
Bad idea.
Thursday night game should be taken away. I think they make it a Friday night game. Thursday night from Sunday to Thursday. Harbaugh brought this up. 3 days to prep.
Mhm.
Mondays they don't practice. Tuesday, Wednesday that's when they'll practice. And Thursday a game. Friday should be the game.
Yeah.
And I think you take that in consideration. But the fact that having 4 preseason games,
I'm sorry. I just want to just get back to the preseason games. I just totally feel like it's through the coaches and general manager's discretion. You do not have to play your first and second stringers just because the rest of the league is playing their first and second stringers in the fourth game. Do you honestly have to? Don't look at it as games.
Right.
Look at it as it is 3 games.
Right. Exactly.
If you want your first and second stringers to have reps, give them the reps.
I don't see.
But you don't have to have them freaking play.
I think what Harbaugh would say, it's an evaluation process, right? It's an evaluation.
Of course.
We're evaluating,
and
based on
especially if those players are trying to fight and make that 53-man roster or make the practice squad.
Right.
That's for them.
Right.
This is not a tune-up.
Right.
They have the reps during training camp.
Right.
You know, these two reps that they get every game. Of course, it means a lot to the naked eye, to the fans that watch it, but it happens through practice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Kaepernick has struggled. I just want to get back to that.
Oh, we're getting to that next.
Mightily.
We're getting to that next. But
honestly, I just want to say, preseason is for players who are trying to fight for that.
Of course, absolutely.
Spot.
That's what it's about. You want to see who you got on the team.
If we can talk about the Rams, Bradford getting injured.
Yep.
You can blame preseason. I'm not going to blame preseason on that.
Right.
Not at all.
Because it happens.
He's not polished. He's not proven.
Right.
When they're not polished or proven, you put your players in preseason. You put them in the line of fire. You don't put Tom Brady in the line of fire because he's proven.
Right.
It's the coach's discretion.
I don't think any of the starters are going to play tomorrow for the Niners. Maybe like a series.
Say Colin Kaepernick used to play tomorrow.
Just to get him stretched out. But yeah, I mean, I think like it's about the players. You want to find out who you have on your team, what type of talent you have.
Definitely.
You know.
And I just want to say the players we talked about. Quinn Dial, Tank Carradine.
Right.
We get to figure out Joe Looney, the right guard, who struggled.
Right.
But we get to find out about him.
Right.
We get to find out about Kilgore center, who struggled, but they need these reps to prove themselves.
Right.
Kaepernick got harassed. Second series, third series, pass rush because of those 2 players.
But also, Iapati played a role in that too. They brought it up. Mike Iapati. I think Mike Iapati is 2 good years, and he's been on the downhill ever since then. Confidence level's not there. I mean, missing Alex Boone has really affected them.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I honestly don't feel like the left side of the offensive line has anything to do with the right side. The center has much to do with alignment.
And Jonathan Gordan, who was
an
the
institution,
stable, right?
And Kilgore. New to the center right here. These are reps that messes up series. People have to understand this is the reps for the young people to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You make mistakes, you improve on it. You have to improve on it. And we'll see first game of the season. Who are playing first game of the season?
Dallas.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Do they have a pass rush?
Nope.
In Big D.
Do they have a pass defense? Nope. We're not going to see a pass rush until, game week 2. The Bears don't have a pass rush anymore. You have Jared Allen there. But
so how are we going to grade the new offensive line, the center and the right guard, based on the run game?
Yep.
And we'll see how much of a push. Body weight, mass-wise, they don't have it, just like Goodwin and Alex Boone. So we're going to see a noticeable difference on push on the right side. We're going to see more runs to the left side.
But I think you see it right now in this preseason. Look at Carlos Hyde. Look at the opening Carlos Hyde has had. He's averaging.
And where is he going? He's going left side every
Joe
time.
Staley and number 77, Mike Iapati.
So any blame, I just want to say, goes to Kilgore. Straight up.
It's supposed to play in game. So with the Niners, this is the next topic, but it's the same thing that we're talking about right now. Did anything change on your view of the team after week 3? Because you guys watched the game. We were camping. We didn't see it, so you guys watched the game.
Honestly,
or is your opinion exactly the same as it was 7 days ago?
I think just going back to what Jerry and I talked about last week. I think, hey, this is preseason,
right? I think Gabbard, they look stepped up.
I could really care less what happens in preseason.
We need a backup, though. It's an important part of the team.
I just don't see Kaepernick getting hurt. I think Kaepernick is smart enough.
Let's knock on wood for that.
To avoid injury.
Right.
And think about Kaepernick. 6'5", 230.
You know Harbaugh's not going to have him run.
230, I'm 5'1".
He's not going to unleash him.
I really believe Kaepernick will be unleashed, not running by throwing the ball. That's where
Hopefully, we
Kaepernick
haven't really seen what he can. I mean, people are slamming him lately. I mean, he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated right now with Russell Wilson, and man, Kaepernick is getting so much hate. Do you think he needs to tone it down
No.
in the public eye?
I think
Or needs to concentrate more on football?
I think a lot of it really is just public perception of who Kaepernick really is.
Right.
And in my opinion,
Because he does come off as a total douche.
he comes out as a total dude.
So it's a lot of jealousy because obviously he's like 20 points hotter than us.
Right.
I mean, even Kerry Champion from ESPN First Day thought that Colin Kaepernick is a dreamboat, right?
Is he a dreamboat?
But
I think if Kaepernick was not a football player, he wouldn't be shit.
I mean,
He looks like Richard Sylvester, and he made himself.
Right, with abs, with tattoos and abs. Sylvester with tattoos and abs.
okay, people
Shout out to Rich. Shout out to Rich.
people hate Kaepernick.
They do. He's got to be one of the most.
Because he gets all the
hated players
girls.
People hated Tom Brady, right?
Because he gets all the girls.
But Tom Brady is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. If Kaepernick was a 1-time Super Bowl champion, would
Right.
people look at him the same way?
Honestly, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but a lot of the jealousy, a lot of the hatred spews just because of the appearance of an individual.
Well, yeah, that too. But I also think the fact that he is unproven.
Okay,
That's a lot of reasons why people don't like him,
Derek Jeter.
and they think he's overrated as hell.
Derek Jeter, individual who was five World Series champions,
Right.
right?
Okay?
5 World Series champion. A bachelor, until the age of 40 years old.
Right, impressive resume. of his.
What do people look at? Or what do they see in Derek Jeter?
A leader, a Yankee for life, a future Hall
Now,
of Famer.
is it because he's had World Series? What if he never had a World Series? Would people see him as a douchebag? Person who's had a good report of dating. These
If
really
he had no World Series rings, he'd still be a future Hall of Famer just on his stats alone as a player. Come on, the guy's got over 3,000 hits.
Pete Rose has 3,000 hits.
Yeah, well, he didn't gamble on. Jerry didn't gamble on baseball either.
I love this.
A Barry Bonds with 700 home runs.
Exactly. The home run leader and the hits leader are both not in the Hall of Fame. That is crazy as shit. But that's baseball. It's an old white man sport, and they're super bitter about that shit. What? Yeah, it's all good. So, I don't even know what we were talking about before. We were talking about the Niners. Yeah, I don't know. They got a game tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'm ready for I'm ready for Dallas.
Okay, I'm sorry.
ready for Dallas.
You talked about the few of us who saw the game because some of you went on the camping trip. Get here, Jerry. Bruce Ellington, wide receiver.
How'd he
He
look?
shined.
Yeah,
He did.
He should have shined.
He's definitely been the
He
shine of the whole
shined
season.
to the point, even though Stevie Johnson was a San Francisco native,
Right.
that Bruce Ellington should honestly have consideration of playing that slot receiver
Right.
spot.
He has definitely been the breakout star of the preseason. for the
Bruce
Niners.
Ellington, honestly, just from his production in preseason, his shiftiness,
Right.
his elusiveness. Give me more adjectives, please.
How hard did he shine, Jerry?
He shined like Birdman up in Cash Money YMCB before YMCB.
Oh, damn, that's shining hard.
That's shine.
Number one stunner shine.
Dubiousness.
Wearing 2 Rolexes on each
He
watch.
shines so much that our
On each
editor,
hand.
our producer, will edit that shine Cash
Shine.
Money Millionaire song
Right.
onto this segment right here.
What I think what Jerry's bringing up is that you have your 2 focal receivers. You have a Michael Crabtree and Anquan Bolden,
Yep.
and by name recognition, Stevie Johnson.
Yes.
But going back to what Jerry says, Bruce Ellington is the third best wide receiver, and then a Quentin Patton, and then a Stevie Johnson.
Yes.
That's true.
I would not mind if Stevie Johnson were to be cut.
He's not going to be cut. Harbaugh,
Give it up.
Harbaugh already said he's not going
Because
to be
Stevie
cut.
Johnson honestly has a personality of a number 1 and number 2 receiver.
But he's not.
And playing that slot receiver is a
No.
lot different. And he's not doing...
You know what? I'd rather have Brandon Lloyd playing at number 3, that wide
No. Oh,
3 or
God.
4.
You're tripping.
But Bruce Ellington, yes. He is the Victor Cruz.
Stevie is a number 1 wide receiver on any other team but the Niners.
He's on teams who don't make playoffs.
Yes.
But he's still a number 1 wide receiver on
Bruce
any other team.
Ellington is Victor Cruz in this team,
Damn.
except with speed.
I never heard of the guy until a month ago.
Bruce Ellington
Never.
could be the steal of the
Where did he
draft.
go to college?
South Carolina, the Gamecocks.
Point guard,
Oh,
Point guard for the Gamecocks.
Go Cox.
the Kim Cox.
There
Wait,
it is.
he played with who was I can't remember who the players at South Carolina were.
I don't even know.
Was he was there when Garcia was still playing for the Gamecocks,
The quarterback,
right? Yeah.
Garcia, yes, definitely. Not Jeff Garcia.
But
I'm hungry. I want to go to Carl's Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wasn't Toto's Pizza right now, but that's besides the point.
Cheers to
Toto's Pizza and just...
Yeah, shout out to Toto's.
And then Dave's birthday.
Yep.
Even though he's not paying attention.
So do you see us going 1-0 against Dallas?
I think it's a massacre.
Massacre in Big D.
I think Tremaine Brock is gonna lock Des Bryant down.
It's gonna be a tough game though.
See, here's the thing.
Des is looking solid.
People are thinking this is who the Niners are. People are concerned. Are they not aware that Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, Vic Fangio, they're not going to release the playbook on week 3 in the preseason?
I feel you.
Yeah.
We play the Chargers, we play the Broncos. We're going to see them in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we release the playbook?
Yeah, what is the playbook?
We don't
Is
know.
it going to be some fancy smanchy stuff? Who knows?
We don't know. But it's besides the point. John, what's the next topic?
Okay, next topic. Should we stay on football?
You're the media.
Okay, so we already talked about Cap. We already talked about preseason.
Did you guys bring up Gordan?
Yeah, we talked about Gordan already. Those were the hot topics of the week. I've got a lot of basketball. If you guys want to go to basketball,
Yeah, I'm all about that round ball.
okay. So let's go to
Krispy
some
Kreme
round ball.
donuts.
Oh, sounds kind
Oh.
of good with some In-N-Out.
Oh,
Animal
that,
style fries.
that donut and that animal package.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, I'm hungry now, man. I haven't even
I'm hella hungry.
I just had juice.
Okay,
I could eat a rotisserie
So-
chicken from King Arthur in 6 days.
basketball. Doc Rivers just got an contract extension to 2019, $10 million a year.
Right.
Do you think it was worth it? Do
Nope.
you think they made the right
Nope,
choice?
nope. You
Where's
want
it
to
to
know
who?
why?
To the Clippers, Rivers.
You look at
2019, $10 million a year.
You look at this basic Doc Rivers. One championship. What is he won a championship with Paul Pierce, Rajon
Right.
Rondo,
And
Kevin
Garnett.
Garnett, Ray Allen. Prior to that, what was his record
Yeah,
with
but
just Paul Pierce?
you got to think about what his situation is right now with the Clippers. And right now, the Clippers are maybe one couple players away from being
Clippers
a perennial championship contender.
Clippers are not going to win the championship. I'm going to say,
But I mean, they could have the players, don't they?
they got players. But I think it showed last year in the playoffs. The Warriors, without even an Andrew Bogut,
Right.
scared the Clippers shitless.
Yeah, but Rivers
Scare
is
shit.
one of the top coaches in the NBA.
Is it because he's top coach? Because there's no other good coach.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean,
But you can't give that by default.
right?
If he is, he is.
Yeah.
You have a Greg Popovich.
Okay, I'll just chime in here. Doc Rivers deserves the money
He does.
because his players play hard.
They do, and they love playing for him.
His players play hard.
They love
And
playing
it's
for him.
so hard to get your Vogel cannot even get his players to play hard.
Mike D'Antoni. Fucking crying out.
I can just say Vinny Del Negro could not even get DeAndre Jordan to play hard.
Right.
And to me, I'm not looking at wins or losses. I'm not looking at championships. Being a coach, Tom Thibodeau has never won a championship. But it's all about getting your players to give maximum effort.
I think what it really is, Jerry, is that the fact that even Mark Jackson, when it was the worst, yes, he wasn't the best coach. He wasn't the most proven coach. But he got his players to buy in. And Doc Rivers got his players to buy in. Even though he's not the best coach.
Yes.
But he got, like a Phil Jackson, was able to control certain behaviors. Like Shaquille
Definitely.
O'Neal, like Kobe Bryant, a Scottie Pippen, a Michael Jordan. And right now he's building Team Lakers in New York with Derek Fisher.
See, I'll be on live air and say it because I'm a basketball coach. I have coached teams with great talent. I have coached teams who are just terrible, but it's all a psychological game.
Right.
The X's and O's have evolved a little differently from the 60s and 70s. The pin down screens where you're coming off like Reggie Miller, coming off that open corner, shooting that jump shot. Stuff has been the same since the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
The dribble drive, dribble penetration has changed the game of basketball. Basketball, it's pretty much the same. That's all I'm going to say. But the skill level, the player has changed the game.
Of course, the players
It's
have
all
evolved.
about the players.
Right.
So when I say it's all about the players, when you bring the coach aspect into it, if the coach can motivate that player to play both sides in the end, because always players in the NBA will always give their all on the offensive side of the floor.
Right.
But it's about that coach who will make that player play both sides of the end. Offensive, defense.
Which what coaches in the NBA do you think deserve that type of contract?
Tom Thibodeau.
You think so?
Oh,
Greg
great.
Popovich.
Pop. And there's only a handful of coaches.
I think Mark Jackson.
There's only a handful of coaches.
Jackson.
But
Mark Jackson.
I'm going to give it to
Yes.
Urban, the assistant coach who got fired. Urban, the assistant coach, was the one who thought of the defensive philosophies in Scalabrini, who got in trouble,
The white Mamba.
who
Is it your
pushed
mama?
hard, who told them to go the extra end. Extra end doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
The extra end.
Extra end. What does that mean?
There's a lot of good coaches. I think Doc. I think Doc. I think Doc is a good coach. I think he can take the Clippers to a place that that organization has never been before, and I do think he can deliver a championship to them.
The only reason I don't say it's just based on the other players and other teams how they're built. Honestly, will not win a championship. Warriors honestly have a better chance just how their players are built, spread out. This is my opinion. But when the Thunder are there with Westbrook and Durant, when Durant or Westbrook leaves, the Clippers have a better chance.
2016.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't ever foresee the Clippers winning the championship. I just don't see it. I think the stigma of the whole Donald Sterling will always be there. Yes, there's new like Steve Ballmer, but
Skip Bayless said today that he thinks Kyrie Irving is the best point guard in the NBA.
Oh no!
Do you agree with him? Or do you think it's somebody else?
No.
He thinks Chris Paul is. No, he thinks Chris Paul is overrated. That's
No. Kyrie Irving is
he's a baller though.
he is Derry McFrugel, fragile in the NBA. I think that you have a Chris Paul, a Russell Westbrook, a Steph Curry, those are the top 3 point guards in the league.
So you don't even put Kyrie in the top 3.
Nope.
My top 3 is I would say is CP3, Westbrook, and Harden.
Well, is CP3 your number 1 just by default? I mean,
I think Chris Paul is an MVP. He can do it all, both sides of the floor. He's a leader.
I think this.
But like Skip Bayless says, he doesn't think Chris Paul's a superstar.
He plays
him and Stephen A. Be like, what? Like he be tripping.
I don't think Chris Paul's a superstar.
when Stephen A. says that shit.
I don't think Chris Paul's a superstar. I really don't. I think he's a star.
That's what he said. They say he's a really, really good player, but he's not a superstar.
There's only so many superstars where someone can change.
I think Harden and Westbrook are, up there too. Westbrook can explode for 50 points. But I still think Chris Paul is a better leader, and I think that's why I put him above those two.
I think Westbrook's a superstar by both sides of the ball. James Harden
not touchscreen
is not a superstar. Steph Curry, on the verge of being a superstar. Name recognition is not there because he plays in Golden State.
Yeah.
If you play him in New York, you play him in LA, you play him in Chicago, Boston, he becomes that superstar, right? Mm-hmm. But no, Kyrie Irving definitely is not a superstar. Nor is he even a star.
What I think is that casual NBA fans put too much responsibility on point guards.
Right.
They make point guards think that as an NFL they're quarterbacks.
Right, absolutely. They're definitely the quarterbacks.
And they feel like they put the stigma like they're franchise players.
402 Boardwalk.
Just put his number.
We're ordering pizza here. But I'm just saying, potential-wise, game impact-wise, Kyrie Irving has the most potential as a big
I agree.
player.
I agree completely.
Russell Westbrook, of course, he has game-changing speed. Derrick Rose, health-wise. But Kyrie Irving has the overall game where he can attack a defense, he can dish it off. He has the most complete game. So I just got to give it up to Kyrie Irving, potential-wise. Yeah, but now, as we speak, health-wise,
and I think having LeBron is going to take him to another level.
Definitely.
I think having LeBron on his team is going to take Kyrie to a very, very high level of play. I think just having LeBron on the team is going to make Kyrie want to play better and take his game to the next step. But, I mean, to say that he's the best point guard in the NBA, I think that's kind of a stretch. I think he's still very young. He played on a pretty shitty team the past couple of years. This is going to be his first time playing with a team that is going to be obviously a contender. I mean, playing with
Right.
LeBron and Kevin Love,
Right.
that's two superstar talents. He went from being the best player on the team to being the third best player on the team
Right.
in a matter of 2 weeks. So it's going to be an adjustment for him, but I still think that he's going to have his best season as a player for sure.
Definitely. And just to reiterate on that topic, Kyrie Irving will have more faith.
So what's the next topic?
Yeah. So
Sorry, dude.
we went back to
Sorry.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both think that Kyrie's going to have the best season of his career, but I mean, as far as him being the top point guard in the NBA, I don't think that he's at that level yet. So the owner of the Timberwolves had some pretty harsh comments towards Kevin Love. Made headlines today. He said that Kevin Love is going to get exposed on the defensive end, and that pretty much that he's overrated. And if the Cleveland Cavaliers have a terrible season, he is going to be the scapegoat for their problems and not LeBron. Do you think he has a point, or do you think he's just being salty as hell?
He has a point.
He has a point.
Okay, Taylor? We're talking about Taylor right here.
And Taylor, yeah.
Taylor has a point. If you can see how the Miami Heat struggled during playoffs, during just any big games, Miami has to surround themselves with shooters. You look at Cavaliers, surround themselves with shooters. You take a look at the field goal percentage of Kevin Love. You look at the field goal percentage of Chris Bosh. You look at what Chris Bosh can do defensively on one side of the floor. And Chris Bosh definitely has better numbers than Kevin Love when a player is going one-on-one. It's cool that Kevin Love is getting all these rebounds, but is that really what defense is about?
Nope.
It's pretty much based on team missing shots. Team missing shots, is that good defense? Of course, if LeBron will cover his guy, Kyrie will cover his guy. You have players on the 2 spot, you have players on the 3 spot. Will they cover their guy that will challenge shots?
I think going back to what you're saying, Jerry, you're looking at a Chris Bosh, a great, one of the best two-way players in the game, right? I think Kevin Love, a good one-way player, not good defensively. But what does Kevin Love have that Chris Bosh didn't have? An Anderson Barrier job. He could protect.
I'll straight up say it. The only thing that Kevin Love can give is offensive rebounds more than Chris Bosh. But if Kevin Love is spaced out in the perimeter, where he's spacing out the offense, he cannot give offensive rebounds.
Kevin Love is an overrated player, in my opinion.
Big time.
He is not a superstar.
He's not.
I don't know, man.
I'd rather go to Carl's Jr. and get a superstar.
I'll tell you right now, as a Laker fan,
Hell.
I don't want to
Right
see
next door.
Kevin Love in LA at all as our number one option. Love, you can stay in Minnesota, you can stay in Cleveland. I don't care less about you.
I love Kevin Love as a player, don't get me wrong. But matching with LeBron James, they're not going to win a championship.
They're never going to win a championship
They're
because Kyrie Irving plays 30 games a year. Love plays 40 games a year.
So
LeBron James.
You don't think they're durable?
They're not.
LeBron don't miss any games.
Even if they were healthy, what makes the Cleveland Cavaliers go is Deion Waiters. If Deion Waiters can get to that next level, that's what's going to take the Cavaliers.
They're not going to be able to beat the Bulls if Derrick Rose is healthy. Yeah, Pau Gasol, Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah.
Taj Gibson will destroy Kevin Love.
Yes, even Pau Gasol is an NBA champion, 2-time NBA champion. Joakim Noah in a Tom Thibodeau defense is going to destroy that Cleveland Cavaliers team.
Just speaking in the coach's perspective, go ahead and put Kevin Love in the perimeter. Have Taj Gibson follow him out.
Kevin Love is a better offensive player than all those guys that you just named, without a doubt.
Definitely.
Yes.
But it's all about plus minus.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
what
I
you
agree.
can give both ends.
Right. I
Plus
agree.
minus, like in baseball, it's the WAR. Wins above replacement.
And Kevin Love's PER has been... Give me the word.
It's not where a superstar should be. Let's say.
Yeah, I just feel like his numbers have been exaggerated.
And in my opinion, Love will leave after this year. It's the same thing with the whole the White Howard fiasco in LA.
Mhm.
Is LeBron going to stay or is he going to leave? He's never going to leave, regardless whether he wins another championship or not.
Right.
I think
he's
LeBron
not leaving.
LeBron is invested.
Right.
He's invested.
I just done 402 Boardwalk. Apartment dose.
ASAP.
Ferg.
We need it
And
now.
I don't
Extra
see
cheese.
LeBron James ever winning another championship. He will go as one of the biggest failures ever to play the game.
Who?
LeBron James. Like a Shaquille O'Neal.
You're
4 NBA championships.
How can you say he's
I can't say
failure?
I can't say failure. I'll say Ralph Sampson is a big failure.
How can you say
How was Ralph Sampson in the Hall of Fame for 4 good years?
That's why I say he's a failure.
But
How-
LeBron
wait,
James,
wait. We gotta go back to LeBron. So you think LeBron's going to be known as
He's
a
not-
failure?
he never wins a ring again. 2 NBA championships. That's it. 2 NBA
Still,
championships.
he could retire right now and be a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Fame, yes.
He
But
could retire right now and
could
be
you
considered
put
top
him
10 greatest player of all
in the
time.
Mount
He's not even
Rushmore.
31.
If Manute Bol's a hero,
Yeah.
Okay, 2 NBA championships. LeBron
Right.
James' talent alone, just like Shaquille
Right.
O'Neal,
Right.
should win 6 easily.
I don't know. I just speaking because I have too much heart, dude. I just feel like LeBron is doing things. He gives his all.
He does.
I try not to judge people based on the as a whole, just as what they give as an individual.
Right.
And when I feel like LeBron gives himself as an individual, he gives all that he could do.
Right.
I can't consider him as a failure. That's kind of
His only failure is his hairline. His only failure is his hairline.
It's like what Dwight Howard said. He forgot.
His hairline is
He
a failure.
forgot to bring his. He brought his talent to South Beach, but forgot his hairline in South Beach.
Right. Now,
But-
his hairline go back every year.
If you want to talk about failures, let's talk about Dwight Howard.
Right. Dwight Howard is a
He's
failure.
a freaking failure.
Dwight Howard is irrelevant to me. Who is Dwight Howard?
When you say the word irrelevant, that's
He has
failure
such,
all
like,
down. Failure.
He was supposed to be like the man.
LeBron
like,
is awesome. I got a man crush on LeBron.
Maybe I have high hopes for LeBron because growing up as a Laker fan, our Kobe Bryant, 5-time champion,
Right.
7 times in the finals.
Right.
Out of 14 years. LeBron James.
I don't think Kobe would have won half the titles if he didn't have Shaq.
He won 2. He won 2.
Right.
He won
Do you think he would have won 6? 5?
I don't think he would ever. I think this is really it. It was just 2 championships. Kobe Bryant.
Right.
But then again, we wouldn't know who he was partnered with.
How many more titles do you think they would have won if Shaq stayed? I think they would have won 2 more.
I think they would have. I think Kobe should be a 7-time, 8-time
Right.
champion right now. Would
Can
be
you
considered
imagine if
the
they stayed together,
greatest.
though? It would have been like a Celtic type domination if they stayed together.
One of the best 1-2 punches of all time. Top.
It might
top
be
4,
the
yeah.
top 1-2 best
I mean,
punch.
Shaquille O'Neal. I was watching some Shaquille O'Neal footage.
They couldn't do it. They couldn't keep
I don't
their
even
ego
want
on
to
track.
watch it because it's not even basketball.
What?
Yeah, it's not basketball. But
It's
just
not
the,
basketball when you watch
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille in his heyday. Because
Yeah.
I was a young dude.
My mom hated it, dude.
It was
She literally
it was weird
cussed
watching it.
at the TV. Like it's like all he does is use his big fat butt.
No,
And
honestly.
just, like, and he just
they
uses his size.
They would
brute
get the
strength.
ball. They would take the ball out.
Right.
He was in shape. He would
Right.
run.
Oh, dude,
he would run
quick.
to the
Oh,
block.
Man, Shaq in his prime.
And
He
just
would
get
catch
that
the ball. He'll
straight
turn
down
and he'll dunk it.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
thing got
man.
slapped.
That was the weirdest basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Shaq was on another level.
I thought
of
Will
dominance.
Chamberlain footage was weird.
Yeah, he was great.
Shaq footage is weird.
Right.
When he did that against like players like Rasheed Wallace, who were pretty big in themselves.
Yeah,
Gregos
said it. Barkley said that
Sabonis?
the most dominant player he's ever seen in his entire life.
It wasn't
was Shaq.
fair.
Over Jordan.
If Shaq wasn't too interested in Shazam too,
If Shaquille O'Neal can shoot free throws, Shaquille O'Neal would average 50 points a game.
it was the 1920s.
I think.
Sorry.
But that's besides the point. So next point. What's the next topic, John?
The next topic, I think we're running out of NBA, dude. There might be have one more. Hold on.
You know, I have a question.
All right,
One of our
I'm hungry.
listeners, Stacy. You guys pretty much know Stacy. We actually have a girl.
Shout out to
asking a
Stacy
question.
and the female fans.
She
What's
does want
Stace?
to. She does want to partake in the next podcast.
All right,
nice.
Make sure we're
She played D1 ball. in
Oh,
college.
cool.
D1.
Yeah. So she's asking, what is your take on the culture of painkiller drugs misuse and substituting
Ooh,
players' health
this is a
for
controversial
profit
one.
This
in
is-
the sporting world?
Oh,
John,
the abuse of painkillers.
John started off.
Yeah, I think that, with these athletes, they can literally just get, anything they want as far as, pharmaceuticals go. And I think it's just, for a doctor, it's just really easy to prescribe, a painkiller and be like, it's just, give them their pills and have them, gone out the door. And it's an easy fix. It definitely does set them up for, the possibilities of, addiction, especially
Right.
after the season ends, after their football career ends. You gotta look at the long term goal, but I mean that's something I don't think I've really heard too much about. I mean, can you think of any situation where a player, currently playing or after their career has got addicted to pain medications?
Can I think of one?
I haven't think of anything off the top of my head.
I just feel like, with a concussion.
I mean, maybe hardcore drugs, but not painkillers, not prescription, not scripts.
It's tough because a lot of players are not vocal about the abuse they've had over the years.
That's also true.
All you hear is the horror stories like Jim McMahon.
Right.
That he's dealing through. But it's a real tough subject where it needs more research and where it needs more players to be more vocal about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have players vocal about it, then it's just a subject matter that we really don't know.
I think what was going on, sorry, Joe, to cut you off.
No.
But people are being more vocal about it after the fact that they played. But while they're playing, they're not vocal about it because they're trying to be a team player.
No. I think when Brett Favre went through a situation, that actually put a big spotlight on it that brought a new realm that I've never seen before from a fan perspective. And now we need players who are filing grievances against the NFL. They just need to be more outspoken. Of course, when you think about injuries, a lot of players take painkillers. You hear the Ryan Lott stories where he had part of his finger cut off.
He played with a partial broken finger.
Right. But
in game.
When you think of painkillers, you feel like a player is injured who takes a painkiller and now they feel like they're invincible. And to me, it has to fall on the trainer. If it doesn't fall on the trainer, they're the one who makes the judgment calls. If it's right or wrong, it's really not my place. We don't have too much knowledge or information about the situation of the reasoning of why they're taking the painkillers.
Yes, right.
Thread killer here.
You guys done with that question?
Yeah, what you got?
Thread killer.
So
That's a great question. Great question, Stacy.
We have one of our other listeners here.
There's another one?
Yes, Mr. David Wu.
David Wu.
Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan.
Shout out to Wu.
All the Chambers.
birthday boy.
All the Chambers.
Birthday.
Put the Jamaican beat on.
He asked, what are your thoughts about Blaine Gabbert's performance this past Sunday? Will he get time in the regular season?
No, hopefully not. If he gets time in the regular season, let's just say the Niners will make the playoffs.
What do I feel about Blaine Gabbert? The more time he gets, he's going to improve.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
With that arm slot?
I don't know what arm slot he's throwing. I honestly don't know. But the more time he gets, this goes for any player, especially a young player with upside. He has the arm strength, he just doesn't have the timing. The more time he gets, he feels comfortable, his timing will be a lot better. So, of course, he's going to get better. But do I see himself playing? I don't want him to play at all. I don't. If he plays at all, it has to be Kaepernick. I would love for him to have a great fourth preseason game. Ball out. Throw 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Do I feel any better about you? Who cares?
We hope that we never see him. That's the point. But if that situation does happen, are you comfortable with Gabbert being the backup?
I'm not comfortable, but it's just like...
I'm not either. I don't think anybody
Do I want Tim Tebow in there?
I'm all about Tebow time. Shout out to Tebow.
Is that real? No, it's not.
I will rather have Tim Tebow than Blaine Gabbert right now.
I would
too. I would have
Tebow is a winner.
If Tim Tebow's in there, I would rather have myself in there.
Heisman champion. 1-1 in the playoffs.
I could throw 15 yards. And I could scramble a quarterback sneak.
So, I mean, if it's not Gabbert, is Josh Johnson done enough to be the 2?
Honestly, I'm just rooting for that. I'm not happy. It's
No,
just
but of course. But hypothetically, if you have to pick and you have to be on the depth chart, would you have Gabbert as 2 and Johnson as 3?
Okay, Josh Johnson can honestly scramble better than Blaine Gabbert.
Right.
Blaine Gabbert can honestly throw the ball better downfield.
Yep.
But they honestly both suck at just being a quarterback in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a straight up squash. You just cross your fingers and hope for the best.
It's kind of what we need right now as a backup of some mad shop.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about these backups for these quarterbacks, all of the teams in the NFL need a freaking backup. The Packers are in a good situation right now because they had a backup who excelled on a week against the Lions where he threw 5 touchdowns.
Who plays the system well?
Mm-hmm.
Name some more backups. Michael Vick. I would love
Same
Michael
thing with
Vick.
the Giants. When they had Eli Manning and Kurt Warner was your fucking backup quarterback.
There are not that many great backups out there.
And I think we're
Who the hell
blowing this out of
drafts a
proportion.
backup?
We're blowing this out of proportion. We're fucking cares about damn backup.
Kirk Cousins, great backup. Who will he ever play?
No.
Give me another great backup.
Who else is a great backup? There are no other great backups.
Currently, right now.
All the teams in the NFL are screwed.
Yeah, well, I guess Josh Freeman is still out there.
He's a backup. How would you feel about
the former
him?
number 18 pick.
Backups suck because they're backups.
Out of Kansas State.
Backup sucks because they're backups. I'm not.
Screw about that. Next topic, John.
Backups
So
suck.
my buddy Yoshi just texted me, and he asks, should pitchers be allowed to win the MVP?
Ooh.
I think right now the MVP in the league.
Because I mean, obviously the Cy Young is their MVP, but do you
Right.
think that they should also be eligible to win the MVP in general?
Quite honestly, I have to admit, I'm a baseball junkie.
Go for it.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on this. Go first.
Here, I will tell you, growing up, the best players I've seen was Barry Bonds, Randy Johnson,
Steroids rules.
Pedro Martinez, and Albert Pujols, Alex Rodriguez. Those are the top 5 players I grew up watching. The way Clayton Kershaw changes a whole series.
Yes.
Kershaw is, if not one of the best players in the league. Top 3 in the league. I mean, all you have is a Miguel Cabrera, a Michael Trout. Who's better than Kershaw? And surprisingly, they don't play in the NL. Clayton Kershaw is the MVP in the NL right now. He is by far the most dominant pitcher I have seen since Randy Johnson.
Okay.
In his prime.
I mean, part of that, the closest thing to superstar in the NL, people might hate it, Matt Kemp in 2011 was the closest thing I saw to being one of the greatest players I've ever seen, just based on talent. When you ask about, going back to your question, could a pitcher be an MVP? Yes, I think Clayton Kershaw is the MVP right now in the NL.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree. I don't think that pitchers should be eligible to win the MVP just because they play once every 5 games.
Right.
I just think that alone, the fact that they only play twice a week, in one, if that, I don't think they should be eligible. I think they have their award. I think the pitching position is so different from all the other positions that I think that they have their own set of rules and what makes them successful, and I think that the Cy Young, that's their award. I don't know. I don't think it's fair for the pitchers to be in the same category. But yeah, I mean, to what Paul is saying, I mean, Kershaw is on another level. I mean, he's on pace to break records in baseball that have been around for like 60 plus years. I mean, he's having like a once in a generation type season. I mean, so is it fair to have him not win the MVP because he's a pitcher? I mean, you can argue this either way. I mean, it really just depends on how you feel on the topic, but I don't think there's any right or wrong answer in the question.
Yeah, I just feel like as an elite pitcher where you can control 25 games a year, where you can put your team with a reasonable chance of winning a game.
You look at Kershaw, 13-2 with a 1.53 ERA.
Going against other teams' number 1 starters, number 2 starters, heck yeah. But, of course, there's not a lot of light shed on pitchers getting MVP trophies just because positional players play every day. But when you factor 25 games where you can factor a game, where you can factor a cleanup hitter homering 40 times a game, where it's 1 run, where a pitcher can factor, I'm giving numbers here, where it can have an ERA lower than 2.5. You look at a cleanup hitter where he factors in a game averaging less than 0.50 runs a game for a 162 schedule, where you got to do the math, but the impact is the same as a cleanup hitter and a frontline pitcher.
Because going back to Jerry's point is that
Throwing out numbers here.
going back to Jerry's point is like even a Joey Bautista,
These are numbers that I've never.
Jose Bautista. Look at his on base percentage is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's like a 402 on base percentage, which is ridiculous. But you look at how many what RBIs is he driving in after every 5 games. He's gonna at least have 1 RBI every 5 games, 1 home run every 5 games.
Right.
And Jerry's point is that when Clayton Kershaw is pitching that 5th game, he is dominating just like a Joey Bats, just like a Tulowitzki.
This has never been.
And going back to the question, yes, Kershaw is definitely the MVP based on numbers alone, based on raw numbers. A guy who has a 1.52 ERA, his whip is ridiculous, it's less than 1. Meaning that he's inheriting less than 1 base runner.
I don't even like baseball.
Right.
Less than 1 base runner per inning. And you know what's sad right now?
Yeah.
We're talking about the fucking Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah. That is the worst part. That is the worst part.
You know, quite honestly, 4 years ago, we were talking about Tim Lincecum being the aces of aces.
Yeah. Timmy fell out of it, though.
He was Clayton
Let Timmy
Kershaw.
smoke. Let Timmy
2008, 2009, 2010, he was really the aces of all aces, right? And now, Clayton Kershaw.
Is that dude?
We got some new
The
questions.
closest thing to
Yeah.
Randy
I got one,
Johnson.
Go ahead. What you got? What you got? I'll go
Do you want to finish that?
No, I'm done. I'm done with the Dodgers. I'm done with Clayton Kershaw.
Uh,
Hopefully because of Giants in 10 years. In 2
Another
years.
another question by Dave Wu here. He wants to know what's up with the turf at the new Niners Stadium, Levi's, and they're changing it the turf out again and not letting the roots sink in there.
Honestly, I don't even know what the problem is. I think Harbaugh said that the players can't get their footing right and they're slipping all over the place, so it gets them susceptible to injury. But I mean, Harbaugh is nuts, and he's looking out for his players. And if he thinks they're going to get hurt, he thinks the field should get torn up and resodded or whatever the hell the term is, then that's what they got to do.
Right.
Yeah, anything
Paul?
else?
No comment on that one. I think it's what John said. Plain and simple.
Jay?
Okay, so all I gotta say is, with the new technology, especially with a lot of data available of how to put field into new stadiums, you would think there would be an improvement. So it's just pretty sad. The new stadium, you would think they would do their research where they would actually have grass that would stick to the ground where players would twist and turn making cuts. But it's a big problem. I'm really embarrassed by it.
It's very
I'm
embarrassing.
embarrassed. It's
On a
embarrassing.
brand new stadium,
It's embarrassing.
that this is even a situation. I agree completely.
And if one player in the 49ers breaks their ACL, MCL, TCL, TLC,
What's the situation?
They,
once I said TLC, I don't know what I'm saying.
But yeah, it's kind of embarrassment given the fact that we have the so-called state of the art, right? The state of the art, state of the that we didn't spend, but taxpayers in Santa Clara County, $1.3 billion for us as a brand new stadium. Is really just the look of just the overall view, the seating. Yes, I
Right.
understand it's great, but really the players care less about that. They
Right.
care about the playing field.
Yeah. Honestly, I had never heard this many complaints about a new stadium.
Ever.
And quite
Ever.
honestly, it's a disappointment.
It is not a disappointment. But as far as Niner fans are so, this stadium
I hope those are
had
chips you're sitting on.
This stadium had no chance to be a hit with fans off the start because, Niner fans are bitter that they moved to Santa Clara. They would have found anything. This stadium could have beer served by naked Playboy playmates and they would have complained. There's just nothing that the Niners could have done for the fans to completely welcome this stadium with open arms this early. I mean, I think down the line it will change, but there was just no way. People were going to take apart the stadium any way they could.
I actually love the stadium, to be honest with you.
It looks sexy as shit on TV, man. I want to have sex right on the 50-yard line.
Wow.
It looks great.
Edit that out.
No, it's good. It's a great-looking stadium. But, yeah, I think it's embarrassing, like Jay said. That's the one thing it is, though. It's super embarrassing that this is going to be to happen, within 8 days of the season starting.
Ugh.
Next topic.
One of the biggest topics in sports right now is
Pizza.
little 13-year-old Moni Davis.
Hungry.
You guys know who she is. Monet.
Throwing 72 miles an hour.
If you guys don't know who Monet Davis is, this is the girl that has taken over the sports world. She's 13 years old. She is one of 2 female baseball players playing in the Little League World Series right now, which is
it's done though.
Which is a feat all in itself.
South Korea.
She's throwing. What is she doing? She's throwing like 60, 70 miles an hour.
She's throwing 72 miles an hour.
70 miles. She's a 13-year-old girl. 13-year-old girl. Michelle Obama is praising this girl. Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, this girl is a celebrity.
Of course, Ellen DeGeneres.
Of course. No, but I'm saying though, this girl is 13 years old. She's a female. I mean, this girl is she has taken the world by storm in a matter of 2 weeks. She's a full-blown celebrity. ESPN talks about her every day like she's a professional athlete. Do you think that she should go pro right now or stay in school?
Where do you go pro? Where do you go pro as a girl?
No, because they can sign her right now.
Who's going to sign her?
I think Monet Davis is Danny Almonte of this generation.
Danny Almonte,
who took the world by storm in 2000.
No, because there's female baseball leagues.
Monet Davis.
Aren't there? Because she can get paid though.
She can get paid.
Monet Davis is Michelle Wee in this generation.
I understand.
Wow, this is the weirdest topic I've ever heard.
But dude, you gotta bring it up. This girl is talking about
bring it up.
Day on ESPN.
Okay, guys.
Can you close the window on?
Michelle Wee of this generation, 15 years old. The fact that she's throwing 72 miles an hour. Is she able to continue that arm strength?
Dude,
she has to grow up.
This is the weirdest topic we've ever talked about.
This is talked about
5 years from now.
Day on ESPN.
She's throwing 72 right now.
I think it's. I think the fact that we're even
5
talking
years
about a 13-year-old girl playing baseball
is so
crazy.
obvious that she can't. That's why I can't believe we're bringing this up.
Dude, do you think she could play in the major leagues?
Of course not.
No. It was the same question. Can Michael Sam play in the NFL?
No, what?
He can't.
Not even the same question.
What do you mean Michael Sam can't?
Michael Sam is the first one to play. Michael Sam is 7 days away from making the NFL
Michael
roster.
Sam will not make the NFL roster.
He is 7 days away from making the NFL roster.
Michael Sam is going to make the team.
No, when is the final cut? When is the final cut?
Next week.
Right, so he's gone this far, he's going to make the team, dude.
He's hella going to make the team.
How are we talking about Michael Sam? We're just talking about 13-year-old girl.
He won't make the team.
Wait, I don't even understand the difference. I don't even know.
I think.
Wait, let's
I'm
talk
not even a hater against Monet Davis.
How is Michael Sam and Monet? How is Monet Davis again? Seriously, all of his 17 followers.
I think. I mean, just based on genetics and just based on
should be an issue.
Just in human anatomy. Right. Can Monet Davis throwing 72 miles an hour?
I can throw harder than Monet Davis when I'm 52.
With a wicked curveball.
Why do you think she's getting so popular?
With a change up. Great. I watched her games. Good curveball, good change with 13, 12-year-olds. Can she continue a 72 to a 94 miles an hour fastball at age 17?
I think this is a great story. I think
it's not going to happen. It's not going to be based on human genetics.
Yeah.
Human anatomy. It's not just going to happen.
Right.
Can Monet Davis play in MLB? No. No,
I think the Giants should sign her.
No.
Put her in the farm league.
No,
seriously, she's better than Yasiendo Petit.
She's probably better than. Let's just be honest. She's probably better than Tim Lincecum. She's better than Tim Lincecum right now with a 2.7 whip. But she's probably better than Lincecum. You can throw her. Lincecum.
She's not better than Lincecum. What are you guys talking about? She can't even play on my CYO team.
No,
I mean she can honestly play my CYO team.
She would dominate the CYO league.
What are you guys talking about?
She's probably got. Let's just look up how many Twitter followers she has. Let's look it up. Let's look up. I'm one of them.
Put Yuri on her Little League baseball team.
No.
What? 72 miles an hour. I can't even hit 50 miles an hour.
You're kidding me.
You know how fast that is?
I guarantee you she'd strike you out, Jay.
She would strike me out, but I would hit her in the head with my fastball. That is wrong.
So, you really have hate on this girl.
I don't have hate on this girl.
I played varsity baseball, right?
She has 40,000 Twitter followers.
I caught a 78 mile an hour fastball, and that thing was wickedly fast.
Okay,
at
so
17.
this is what we're going to do for you folks. We're not...
She's throwing 72.
We're going to go get that mile-per-hour gun, and we're gonna play some catch. And we're going to film this footage. And Paul, he felt the heat of a what fastball?
78 mile an hour fastball at age 17.
So are you going to wear catcher's equipment?
There's no need for me to wear catcher's equipment.
All right. So me, John, Yuri,
just don't throw in the fucking dirt.
To our catcher right here on a live cast.
I played varsity baseball, varsity catcher.
What?
Just don't throw in the dirt, please.
I want to hit your balls.
Yeah,
But okay, we're gonna play some catch. You down for that?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna film this.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna film this. And I'm gonna show you that I could throw 85 miles per hour.
Used to take.
Do you really want to stand by that? I know you're drunk right now. Do you want to stand by that and I'm gonna
Used to play
throw
catcher?
my heat?
Yeah, I want you to throw your Jared. I think you can throw 85.
You're gonna get. You better wear a helmet.
I don't know. I don't need a helmet.
85 is a great Barry Zito fastball.
That was it's like,
I was practicing 78 to 80 miles an hour. It was fine.
Oh, Carl's got a
Okay.
question. Let's see what he got. Oh, it's a fatty. What are your thoughts regarding the rivalry between the 49ers and Seahawks
The Ravens.
when these two powerhouses battle each other twice within a 3-week span? What do you predict will be the outcome, and who will win the NFC West? I got thoughts on that. Why the NFL decided to have the Niners and Seahawks play twice in 3 weeks, I'm not really sure why. I don't know if that's just how it happened or if they did that on purpose. But, I mean, are the Niners expecting to have Bowman back by that time, by Thanksgiving?
Yes, 6 weeks.
So we should be fully staffed by the time Bowman gets back. By the time we play the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. Is that right?
Yes.
That's soon.
Yeah. Do you think? I think I don't know how it's going to play out. I mean, on paper, I think the Niners do have a better team than the Seahawks do, but I mean, I think the Seahawks have a better defense.
Right. Oh.
I mean, it's really hard to determine who would win that game because it's so far away from now. You know what I mean? Like, anything can happen. I mean, if we're going to answer this question strictly on the fact that the players are healthy, I think the Niners win. I think they split the series. I think the Niners win one, and the Seahawks win one in theirs.
You know, surprisingly, I think that the Niners sweep the series.
Really?
Because we really, in that playoff game against the Seahawks, we dominated that whole entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for Kaepernick's 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter, we would have won that game.
You're right. We would have won the game, but Kaepernick threw 3 goddamn interceptions.
The Niners are definitely the better team.
Right.
I mean, hands down. Is Marshawn Lynch going to be the same player? No. Percy Harvin is
Who's there?
not the most adequate player, the player that will remain healthy.
So you think the Niners win the NFC West?
I think the Niners win the NFC West easily.
Yeah.
I just don't see the Seahawks even winning 10
Skip
games.
Bayless doesn't think the Niners even make the playoffs this year.
Skip Bayless
That's
is
harsh, right?
He's there to build a confidence.
What is wrong with that man?
He loves the Cardinals. I think he has.
He does. He
some
loves the
friends.
Cardinals. He loves the Cardinals, and he loves the Seahawks.
I don't think he'll love the Cardinals now with Carlos Dansby not being there. That defense loses a big time playmaker.
I think we have Carlos here.
Oh, hey, what's up, Carlos? You're live.
But
Carlos, you here?
going back, the Niners win. I believe the Niners win the division easily.
Carlos, you here?
They'll win the
The
division.
Seahawks win the division easily?
All right.
The
So you
Seahawks win 9 games.
Easily is a tough word.
Yes, hell, it's tough.
I don't think the Seahawks win that
can you
good.
hear us
I
still?
think they're really overrated.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's up, Carlos?
So are you
What's up,
happy?
guys?
Are you happy?
We were just talking about your question.
Oh yeah. That's a tricky part.
I said the Seahawks. I said the Niners and Seahawks split the series 1-1. I think we each win at our home place. And that's obviously answering that question if the whole team is healthy. But I mean, yeah, it's really hard to predict that game when it's so far away.
Anybody else? Are you?
What I gotta chime in?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys can answer it, I just want to hear different perspectives from the 3 of you guys.
Paul thinks the Niners are going to sweep both games. We're going to win both games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just think it's really tough just predicting how the Niners move the ball right now, and it's just tough. Especially playing in Seattle. It's like you have to play. It's always going to be a tough game playing against Seattle because we're evenly matched. But I just feel like right now the Seahawks have the edge.
I agree.
Why am I saying that? Just because they're the world champions and just watching from previous games between the
Buster just won the game! Yeah! Buster! Buster! Oh, shit!
Walk off.
Damn!
Okay,
Oh, the
so
Giants won?
yeah, Buster Posey just hit a walk-off home run during our
Won it.
podcast. Just to show you guys that this is live.
Yeah, this is live. We talking about sports while we watch sports.
And the
This is our life.
1.5 Ks still up on the wild card.
And the
This
longest
is our
episode
life,
we ever
man.
had.
This is what we do. Talk sports, play sports, and watch
And
it.
be good boyfriend.
And be good boyfriends. If I
It's
had a
just-
girlfriend, I'd be the most loyal boyfriend in the world.
Technically, we are 8 minutes beyond what we've been before. So
We're 8 minutes past.
yeah.
We're just ready for our seniority
I'm ready
speech
to
right
call
now,
in
so-
sick tomorrow.
I can't go sick
did
because
you guys,
She's still playing.
did you guys answer the other question about what you guys think about the rivalry and what your thoughts are about it?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I think that there's no rivalry at all, to be honest,
Yeah.
man. I don't think there's.
Yeah.
How can you be a rivalry after 3 years? Like, it's not. I mean, the Seahawks weren't even relevant 5 years ago.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a joke.
It's a straight up joke.
We have our homeboy Paul going up to Seattle wearing the 12th-man jersey. I don't have hatred. Like, oh, you're such a traitor, Paul.
Right. I don't think the
I'm gonna
Niners-
kill you.
I think the thing more closer to that, more close to that is that, me being a Laker fan, the fact that the rivalry between the Warriors and Lakers, there really was never a rivalry. The fact that the Warriors were irrelevant for so many damn years, as opposed to now the Warriors are a more dominant team. My rivalry was always with the Clippers.
Right.
Even though they were irrelevant for 50 years.
I don't know if the Niners
Damn,
even.
I didn't know it was that
I don't know
bad.
if the
Manny,
Niners
Manny.
even really have like a.
But the Niners
a true rivalry.
really were the Rams.
Well,
Were
okay,
the Rams.
that's true.
And then the Cowboys and the fact.
Right. Yeah, I would say if the
Packers.
Niners have a rivalry, it's definitely the Packers.
Cowboys.
Yeah, the
and
Cowboys.
Packers.
And then
Cowboys and Packers,
And
without a
now-
doubt.
The Niners rivalry,
And
I
New
think,
Giants.
really is
Yeah.
not really based on players.
Like, who the hell are the Seahawks? I mean,
It's
fucking Steve
Jim
Martin and
Harbaugh
shit.
and Pete Carroll. That's the rivalry.
Yeah.
Stanford, USC.
I just think with the Seahawks, even though Richard Sherman made his name, they don't have household names.
No, they don't.
They have Marshawn Lynch, of course, he's an impact player,
But
but they just don't.
Jamon Curse.
They just look like they just have solid names who've overachieved, and I think the piece is here. Please,
And Earl Thomas is a good player. I think Earl Thomas.
he's a great player. He's honestly, I feel like the
Their
best player in his
scheme.
position.
Their scheme.
It's tough when you have speed in every single position on defensively.
But what's going to happen is the fact that they're calling all those penalties now. I think that's why I believe the Seahawks will finish 9-7 because of all those penalties. They'll grab and pull every time because they played statistics.
Right.
We'll grab and pull every single time because they're going to call 5 penalties out of the whole game. If they start calling 20 penalties, do you see Richard Sherman? Honestly, see Richard Sherman continue to play the way he's playing? No. If they're calling me 15
Yeah.
penalties for grabbing,
This comes another issue. I just feel like cornerbacks succeed based on their pass rush, and I feel like the Seahawks have been giving consistent pass
they
rush.
lost Red Bryant. They lost Chris Clemens.
Red Bryant honestly didn't give much to the pass rush. He really
With the run.
game.
With the
Chris
run
Lemon, of course, he gives the pass rush. But when you have players, Cliff Averill, you have players.
Cliff Averill on Michael Bennett.
Give me more. Give me more.
I can't the two guys that they had.
That's how much it shows that it's not a rivalry. Because I can't even name other players on their damn team.
Well, you guys, anything else? Anything else?
There's really nothing else. I mean, the Seahawks, overrated team in my opinion. I think the Niners win the division easily. I think the Niners, just based on the talent that the Niners have, the coaching, I believe a better quarterback. Russell Wilson wasn't exposed because he had a great running game. He had.
I have one last question.
Yes.
My question is regarding Colin Kaepernick. I'm a little nervous about. I mean, I don't know. His performance in the preseason, you can't really gauge it. You can't put too much on it, but it just feels like he hasn't progressed, and I'm a little worried that he hasn't really, got
Yeah, I
to
know.
the next level
We were talking about this earlier. Definitely, he hasn't given me anything to think that he's going to have a great season. From what I've seen in the first 3 games, I can't confidently say that I think that Kaepernick is going to have a great year.
4,000 yards this year.
But I mean, Paul and Jerry argue that, we're being chocolate. You know what I mean? That it's just hard as being chocolate. What is the term?
4,500.
Vanilla. That was being vanilla. He's being vanilla. Vanilla chocolate. This is funny though.
Okay, honestly, he needs to prove it. Kaepernick has to prove it. I'm faded right now.
Yeah.
This is not going anywhere, bro. I'm hella faded right now.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, we I think it is still the preseason. I mean,
He has the weapons. That's all I gotta say. He has the weapons. If he can't make it with the weapons he has here, then obviously he has no place being the starting quarterback.
I agree.
And we need to look somewhere else. But he has the weapons in place. The only thing shaky is the offensive line. If you look at the third series, second series did not have time to throw the ball. But he is honestly looking at his second and third reads where he's not used to.
I really
okay, sorry.
booed
I had
this week.
you said the offensive line. What about what's his name?
Alex Boone.
Alex Boone. What's up with that? That's what I really want to know. It seems like you're more on the inside, probably. What do you think Do you think they're going to sign him, or is he just going to be sitting?
Okay, here's the deal with the Alex Boone situation. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they traded for Logan Mankins. They also signed Richie Incognito, who had that problem. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were one of the teams lined up to get Alex Boone. Alex Boone, his agent, is honestly putting him in a tough situation.
Very tough.
Where obviously he does deserve money. But the Niners have told him to come into camp and we will negotiate a contract with you.
Uh-huh.
Their agent is totally handling the situation wrong. Alex Boone totally deserves the money. A contract was offered. Agent declined. Niners are struggling. Offensive line, right side is struggling. We do need Alex Boone.
Are they going to sign him, though?
Alex Boone does need the 49ers. He's losing $30,000 a day. He's a rich man. I don't make $30,000 a day. I don't even know what that means or what that feels.
I'm making $30,000 a year.
He doesn't make. Wait. He
I
does
got
not
everything
make.
every day. I got it, guys.
Okay, maybe I'll say $30,000 a week. I'm a little going too far. Who knows?
30,000 a day.
But it's a lot of. He's missing out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's making $2.1 million this year.
Sooner or later, he's going to be backed in. Second week, third week. He needs to make
Remember, Logan
He needs to pay the freaking mortgage. He needs to buy his kids a crib.
Mankins did not sign. Mankins did not sign to the 9th week in 2010.
Yeah.
There was a discrepancy with his contract
Right.
in 2010. At the end of the day, the players will give in. You know why?
He has
They
bills.
need the fucking money.
He's paying for that
crying out
Hummer.
loud.
He needs to pay for that Hummer. That H23.
It's like what Mel Kiper would say. Todd. They need the money, right? They need the money. There's value in that freaking money.
But it's just who's going to cave in first. You get Kaepernick hit with some sacks during preseason.
The Niners will never cave in.
Who'll give in?
The Niner way they'll build that rapport. Why would they cave into a player who's not a top 5?
We have Alex Boone under contract for 2 more years. Does he want to just sit his ass out for 2 more years not making money when he needs to pay freaking bills?
Nope. He's gonna cave in.
Oh, this is the best question ever. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, you're all into it. This is Stephen A. type passion. Stephen A. type passion shit right there.
All right, Carlos, you good with that?
Give me more questions, Carlos.
I'm super good.
More.
We're like
Like
an hour
real
and
time.
20 minutes.
This is technically the longest podcast.
I'm curious. Did you guys see the Sports Illustrated issue?
We talked about that.
Yep.
Kaepernick.
Why was Kaepernick the only one in
the shirt
pads
off?
with no shirt underneath the pads?
Because
Everybody
he's a
else
fucking
had some
douchebag.
sort of
That's why. He's a
Under
douchebag.
Armour thing on.
To
and
Kaepernick's
he's the only
defense.
one showing his damn.
I didn't see it. Show me the pictures.
One of my
I'll show you the
associates
picture.
actually used to party with Kaepernick when they were in college. Kaepernick, from what he said a few times, was a wallflower.
Right?
Never hang out with girls, had one beer, throw out the whole party.
Yes, but he's not
Okay.
Kaepernick now.
But we don't know who Kaepernick is now.
I just need to look at the pictures. I'm looking at the pictures,
but
Carlos.
why is he wearing nothing but? He's the only one. There's like different issues of the same like
Kaepernick loves it.
pose
Where's the
of
picture
different
of?
quarterbacks,
Picture, yeah.
and all of them are wearing Under Armour type.
Let's just be honest. Kaepernick loves the damn attention.
I got the answer for
And
you.
he just shows his 6-pack and like, what is that?
I guess going back, if he had a 6-pack like Kaepernick, Would you mind showing it off?
No,
I would never wear. I wouldn't even wear
Dude,
shirts.
Dude,
ever.
I already have a
I
six pack. I don't even show you guys.
I know. Fonda said you got 6-pack abs.
I did back in the day, but I was only on 2 Coronas.
You don't like black girl?
We just lost a fan.
Oh shit!
Okay, I'm still looking at the pictures, Carl. We're still waiting for the internet to just work.
Let's not even look at pictures because it's really gay again.
I gotta see this. I don't even know what you guys are talking
Let's move
about.
on to the next question. What's the next question?
Hey, Carlos, you gotta be you gotta be on the show a lot, bro. It's just great to hear your voice on real time.
What?
No, it's quick. It's hella quick, right?
I've never used Skype before like this. It's crazy.
It's hella like
Can we
real
see
time.
it, or is it just audio?
No, it's just audio. It's audio.
Oh, it's just audio. That's cool.
We lost Dave and Harry.
When Harry was
Never
on,
knew
the
Harry was
podcast?
on.
Harry was listening. He wasn't.
What? He was watching Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, he was doing that too.
There's the pizza.
Okay. All right, on the live podcast, I finally saw the Kaepernick and Russell Wilson pictures. And honestly, I see that the left nipple of Kaepernick and the right nipple and the belly button forms a triangle. So he is part of the Illuminati. And Russell Wilson, man, I feel like I could play football looking at Russell Wilson's picture. Russell Wilson does not even look like an athlete in this picture, dude. Does he look like an athlete?
Yeah, he looks like an athlete. He looks kind of like a nerd, though.
Dude, look at that.
Like a
I feel like
a black version of Court Matthews?
His head kind of looked like an eraser.
you feel like you could tackle Russell Wilson?
Oh, yeah, so I got one more question.
All right.
So Stacy brought up another question. Who do you guys see winning the Super Bowl this year?
The Niners.
The Niners.
I'm just gonna say the Niners.
I will pay you back when I have my wallet.
I can't even eat that shit. I get waited in 6 hours.
But Stacy brought up a question. Who do you guys see win the Super Bowl this
The
year?
Niners.
Niners hands up unanimously? Okay, who wins the
I
AFC
think
West?
I'm dumb right
I
now.
think the Super Bowl is going to be the Seahawks and Patriots.
Dude, I'm gonna eat pizza.
Okay, so we should end this as a
All right, wrap it up.
Seahawks and the Patriots!
That's who I think is going to be the Super
I
Bowl.
have the Niners and the Patriots.
I have
The
the
Niners
Seahawks and Patriots.
will dominate.
All right, let's go around. Let's go. You have what?
Niners, Patriots.
I have Seahawks
John?
Patriots.
Jerry?
Niners because I'm from San Francisco
Versus who?
versus the Jaguars.
Okay. So he thinks Ace Sanders is going to step up and be that dude. And be that dude.
And we'll end it with Carlos. Carlos?
Oh, I got one more question.
Oh, let Carlos go. Carlos, you're.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought I was just the guest or whatever.
Well, no, we're just throwing you in here real quick. Super Bowl prediction. Throw 2 teams.
That's the last question.
Shoot. We're going to go with, I'm going to say the Niners
Jaguars.
and
Hey, they're my playoffs.
let's see, Broncos.
All right.
And Niners and Pats.
All
I got
right.
one more question for my girl Adeline. She said.
What the? Wow.
No, he said my girl.
He did say my girl.
So she asked, who is going to win the NBA championship this year?
The Warriors.
The Warriors, really.
Yeah, let's go around. Warriors.
Real quickly, I would say that it's going to be if everyone stays healthy, I think it's going to be Chicago and San Antonio.
I'm going with the Thunder winning this year. I think the Thunder and Chicago go in the finals.
No, you're right. I'm going to go Chicago. Chicago.
Whatever I answer, just ask me next week because I'm not in any shape to answer these questions right now.
But I think the Thunder and Chicago, that's my team. Those are my picks this year. I would always say the Lakers, but the Lakers fucking suck. We're going to finish number 14 this year, but then Thunder and Chicago this year.
Do it.
Given everyone is healthy, based on just players.
All right.
I think the Thunder have 2 of the top 5 players in the game. The Radnick and Russell Westbrook.
Let's wrap it up, y'all.
Okay.
All right, Carlos, we'll see you later.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, later.
So that concludes episode 3 of the podcast, Fox City Sports. Until next week, I'm Johnny the Boom Boom.
Paul, King of Swings.
And Jerry the Thread Killer Lorena signing off.
It's me.
One time for your boy. One more time. Football starts Sunday. Our next podcast is going to be when the football starts. So,
And my name is going to be Pizza Lover, a.k.a.
and get ready. We out. We out.
That's the best right there.
Can't edit that out.